Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program, fuckers. And today I'd like to talk about boudoir photography. What is boudoir photography? It's just a fancy French word for bedroom photography. And, it's mainly the American market. I gotta pretend that, it's like they got that Porky's movie type snigger. But, us European fuckers, we've been photographing the mistress and the wife for fucking years, fuckers. And, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. I mean, when I say boudoir, I'm not talking about pornographic sort of stuff. I'm talking about arty-farty, portraits of someone getting undressed. It's all sorts of shit you can do. And I gotta say, when you get a decent camera, like a digital SLR camera, yes, you start photographing shit, and then you start to think, hang on a tick, I'd like to get some bedroom snaps. And look, it's a hobby, okay? It works for you or it doesn't. And I mean, I'm not I can't see the problem between two consenting adults. And the thing is this: so you've got yourself a decent camera, and it's pretty hard to take decent shots, because the thing you find with boudoir photography, normally when you're indoors, your model will do the posing for you. It's normally nighttime once the kids are asleep, and the lighting's rather poor. You don't want all the windows open. Well, it's dark outside anyhow, so you're kind of thinking, well, what do you do? So poor lighting is never a good element for taking good photos. So you really need to get your lighting sorted out. And what I think, that I've read a few books on this, and I've been fucking around with it a bit myself. I think you've got to get some lighting sources, and there's some great photography kits which have got really good bulbs, natural sort of how many kelvins the bulbs are, and what you tend to do is you'd like to use like a white umbrella to sort of diffuse, to spread evenly that light source. And what works for me is having two good lights plus a really good speed light, a speed light type flash. Now these speed lights themselves, you probably find the flash that's on your camera isn't probably good enough. This is an additional extra. It's an extra. And if you're a Nikon person, I'm getting an SB700. An SB700, which is Nikon's flash. And these flashes are pretty amazing fuckers. You can place the flash on the camera, or it can be somewhere else, and it picks up when you're wanting to use it. So it's pretty clever, this technology. It can be a commander or it can be a remote. So there's interesting terminology we'll cover later, but basically my advice is you need a decent sort of camera. So a digital SLR, you need the lenses. I use a macro. I've got a nice 60mm lens, which is my macro lens, but I can also, it's a great portrait type lens as well, so I kind of like that. The lighting, I've got a couple of light sources. So what I'm saying is I'm using some these are just these new modern type of bulbs. You just turn them on. It's like a lamp. They're lamps, except they've got some umbrellas to spread that light evenly. And then I've got a speed light, which is a special flash for my Nikon. I'm a Nikon man. Canon's got speed lights for Canon. So if you've got Canon equipment, you get the Canon version. If you've got Nikon equipment, you get the Nikon version. So this is how it works. And look, you've got to play around with it. The secret to becoming good at photography is to practice, and this can be quite fun. And it's interesting. It can be hard. Now, to some of you chaps out there who are single folk, or who the missus isn't really too keen on partaking, it's not that easy to get a model to photograph. And don't just think you can ring any providers in the paper. These are escorts who provide services, because often they don't like to be photographed. And you've got to respect, I've got respect for everyone. And often, I mean, the funny thing is, I was talking to this stupid American the other day, and he said, oh, just hire some escorts. He wanted me to make a few skits. He said, oh, just hire some and I said, hang on. I said, mate, have you actually directed or worked with these girls before? Because you sound like a fucking amateur. I said, not all escorts want to be photographed or filmed. I said, what makes you think that just because somebody is an escort, they'll also, they're willing to be photographed or filmed? That's not the way it fucking works. It doesn't work that way. And he was a complete moron. So it can be a bit hard to find a model, and this, I kind of, that's how it goes, I'm afraid. You've just got to look around a bit. But look, I really think with boudoir photography, it's really good to practice a bit. And the other thing too is these tips you use. These are for portrait photos too. If you want to photograph the family at home, you need extra lighting, you need light sources, you need some speed lights. Otherwise, it's a compromise. So there we go. That's my talk on boudoir photography, and I'm going to make a few videos on this. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you fuckers think of that.